Next, we're going to discuss Module 8, which is the final module, which is compliance. And obviously, there are some things that you just do not want to go into or say, because it is going to be in direct conflict and violation of what our standard practices are as set out by USOBA, TASC, and also the laws of the governing states. So let's talk a little bit about what I should say or not say, better yet, to the clients. First and foremost, we do not tell these prospects that we pay their creditors off and then they pay us. Obviously, that is not the way it's going to happen, and you do not want to lead your clients down the road of believing that. We also do not tell them that they make payments into their program and then we make payments to their creditors. The payments do not go directly to their creditors right out of the gate. The funds accumulate in a set-aside account so that their creditors can be settled with down the line for a lump sum payment. Also, you do not want to tell them that we make all harassment from creditors stop. Obviously, this is an impossibility. We do know that we can curtail what type of harassment they're getting by their creditors by exercising their rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and educating them on those rights. So we are going to help them protect themselves in a manner that is probably going to be better than what they could do on their own, but we're obviously not going to be able to stop it all short of cutting their phone lines. You do not want to let them know that their credit score will not get any worse. Don't tell them their credit score is not going to get worse. Once again, they're in a financial mess, and as long as they can't pay their bills, their credit score is going to be affected. That's what a credit score is. So until we can get the cards paid off and they can get credit reestablished on their own by getting out back into the marketplace and getting new credit established, then their credit score is going to progressively get worse. You also don't want to tell them that we're a law firm. We are not a law firm, and we operate in states that we can do so legally by not practicing law. You don't want to tell them either that the settlement is guaranteed. Our settlements can be a range of settlements. The good news, they're always going to be approved by the client. So if we present an offer to the client and they are not prepared yet to make good on that offer, then they can table that offer. That is their call. So they are always going to retain control. Also, you need to be careful about telling them their settlements will begin right away. First of all, the creditors are not going to be willing to negotiate on this debt until it gets to a point where it has aged and it's to the point where the value of the debt has dropped. So that in and of itself takes time. Secondly, it's going to take time for funds to accumulate in their account. They didn't get in this mess overnight. They're not going to get out of it overnight. Feel very comfortable giving them a time frame of the first 12 months to get their first settlement. It's going to take time, but it will work as long as they work the system, which is making their payments and sticking with it. Do not say late fees, penalties, and interest accrual will stop. All of those late fees, penalties, and interest will be negotiated within the settlement, just like their principal balance was. Also, do not tell them to stop making payments to creditors. It's their choice. Obviously, most of our clients that come to us are not making payments to their creditors already, or at the worst, they're skipping payments already, and they're going to understand that it's one road or the other. They're either going to be able to continue to make payments to their creditors or they're not. So it's not your job to try to convince them to stop making payments today. Also, debt settlement is not credit repair. So yes, clients' credit could get better as a byproduct of getting rid of their credit, but it's not only a function of getting rid of their bad debt and the debt that's on the books now, it's also a function of reestablishing new credit. So it's very important that they understand that it takes both, and at least debt settlement will put them in a position to do that. So it's very important that the compliance in your compliance as a company should center around setting expectations. I'm a firm believer that people can handle the truth about how a debt settlement program works. They appreciate that. What they can't handle is when a salesperson or a sales team lies to them, and 3 months or 4 months later they find out that isn't really the way it works. That is when they're going to drop out of the program, and they're going to be upset, and rightfully so. If you set the expectations accurately up front for how long the settlements are going to take, for what the fees are, for what's going to happen with creditor harassment and what we're going to do to help, what's going to transpire with their ability to get new credit, if you set those expectations accurately, honestly, and integrally, they will stay in the program and they will succeed. So that is a main focus that you have to do in order to be able to get in front of a debt settlement program and feel proud about what you're doing for your clients.